OK, delighted to say that joining me now to look back on the first day's play in New Zealand is the former England captain and Sky Sports veteran, of course, Michael Atherton. Athers, good to see you. Entertaining day's play, wasn't it? 319 for 8. New Zealand put in to bat by England. Do you think they would have taken that at the start of the day?
They certainly would have taken it from tee when New Zealand were 199 for 3. New Zealand were in a pretty strong position at tee. So definitely England would have taken that by the close, and they had a good final session. At the start of the day, I don't know. I mean, the average here at Hagley Park in Christchurch is 9 wickets falling on the first day. So I guess it was pretty much as expected. What wasn't expected was where the wickets came from Shoaib Bashir. You'd normally expect, it was a pretty thickly grassed pitch, you'd normally expect the seamers to do the damage, but it was young Shoaib Bashir who picked up 4 today.
Yeah, conditions, I suppose, when you put a side in, you expect the ball to be swinging around and a bit of movement off the deck. Were they not quite as favourable as England had hoped when they won the toss?
I think that's the way of things here in New Zealand. You tend to get some really green pitches, or green-looking pitches. They don't actually often do that much, but they do get flatter. So captains, I think, of the 13 tests here in Christchurch at Hagley Oval, 12 out of 13 have put teams in. So it's a perfectly logical thing to do. Whatever help is there, you feel it's going to be there on the first day, and therefore take your chances. It was quite a hot, blustery day as well today, so that might have had an impact. I mean, the conditions were, it was up at 27, 28 degrees by the standards of Christchurch, pretty hot, not hot like it's been in Multan recently for England. But, you know, there was a hot wind blowing, and that might have taken any moisture that was in the pitch out of the pitch pretty quickly. So it didn't actually do that much. So I think they'd be pretty happy to have taken 8 wickets in the end.
Let's delve a bit more into Bashir then. How good an effort was that? As you say, at the Hagley Oval, you don't expect your spinner to take 4 on day one.
No, that's right. I mean, New Zealand are not playing a specialist spinner. Santner's not in the squad until the second and third tests. Ajaz Patel, who's one of the heroes of the India tour, he's not in the squad. So they're not playing a specialist spinner, which tells you all you need to know about how unhelpful the conditions are for spin. So they're relying on Rachin Ravindra and Glenn Phillips, part-time spinners. But Stokes, you know, I think one of the aspects of his captaincy has been his empathetic handling of spin. He's a very good captain of spin. He always wants a spinner in his lineup, regardless of the conditions. I mean, I'd have to look back at his captaincy, but I can't remember a time that he's omitted a spinner. There may well be one, but I can't think off the top of my head. So he likes having a spinner in his team. You know, before Jack Leach was supplanted by Shoaib Bashir as the #1 spinner, Leach was a beneficiary of that kind of faith and empathetic handling, sympathetic handling, and Shoaib Bashir is now. So I think Bashir feels that he gets a lot of backing from Stokes and McCullum. They virtually said way before this tour began that he would start the series, even though he hadn't bowled that well in Pakistan. Things didn't go that well for him, and Leach got more wickets than him in Pakistan. But they've kind of stuck with Bashir. He's their #1 spinner, and they're reaping the rewards of that.
How would you rate each of the England seamers in the way they bowled today?
I don't think they're at their best, to be honest. Maybe they're a bit underdone. You know, they've come into this series with, as usual, that's just the way of things these days. No point kind of banging on about it because that's how it is. But they've come on with precious little preparation, just a 2-day game down in Queenstown, but also in Pakistan. You know, the likes of Chris Wokes weren't getting a lot of bowling because it was a tour that spinners were doing most of the work and the seamers were being rotated because of the hot conditions. So they've not actually been doing that much bowling in match situations. So maybe they're a bit underdone. I didn't think Wokes just didn't look like, you know, being particularly effective. Gus Atkinson had 1 or 2 issues with no balls, but got better throughout the day. Thought Bryden Carse was the best of England's seamers today. Ben Stokes had issues kind of where his foot was landing. He kept slipping and he fell on his backside and he was kicking the turf in frustration. So he didn't bowl himself that much and was a bit expensive when he did. So I don't actually think the seamers were at their best. Hence, Stokes was pretty grateful for having Bashir and his wickets today.